Might as well do it now.
Yeah, let's do the, what's that?
You want to do the visitors
Well,
first?
okay, yeah, we can do the visitors. Is there anything for visitors?
No, for me.
Nobody. All right.
Okay.
Minutes? Any other chance to put those?
I have, and there is one thing that's missing.
What?
We had tabled an item in January,
What do we,
and I do not see that listed anywhere in the minutes.
what did we table?
Roadmaster wage.
Because there wasn't a road map.
Oh, because we didn't have one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because Henry wasn't here then. So, came back, but.
Well, how
Well,
should we
that's-
handle that? We have an acting road manager currently.
But he's a employee, not a
Right,
supervisor
not a
working.
supervisor.
So they set the wage for that.
So probably, I would imagine, we wouldn't have anything to do with it until that situation arises again.
Right. Well, we've got that sitting out there.
Is there any need to address that, Helen? How's it?
I'm just trying to think how. Or you can't deny because there's nothing before you on the roadmaster. There's nothing to approve because it's not a working supervisor.
Yeah, I was only involved in one of those before, that
Mm-hmm.
one time.
What happens if you carry it over to your rework meeting?
We can, and I can figure out how to deal with
It's
it.
an open item?
Yeah,
Okay. But just so that the minutes reflect that.
I'll put it in that it was tabled.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No, I'll make a motion that the minutes of January 5th, 2016 be accepted with an amendment.
I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, so anything under old business?
I don't have any.
Nothing? New business?
The Board of Supervisors, I guess the right word is appointed, Joe Landis as a temporary administrator for the police department until a new chief of police could be hired. And they recommended that Mr. Landis be paid $17 as an hourly employee with benefits if necessary.
And their work, are they advertising it for that?
Not yet, they haven't.
Advertise for an administrator?
No, advertise for chief of police.
Has this ever happened in the past?
Not since I've been here. The temporary administrator is mainly just to make sure the schedule's made up, the paperwork that has to be put down, not cop work, but the administrative paperwork goes where it has to be done and is completed. And then there'll be an officer in charge, which I don't know who that's going to be yet, to take care of the police work. And Joe will not do any police work. He won't go out on calls or anything else. It's just paper pushing.
Will this be a full-time position for him?
Temporarily until we get the new chief.
Which he is already point of contact, correct?
Yeah, he's a point of contact to the police department.
Okay, let me ask this question. At the end of May, when Henry stepped down as roadmaster,
Yes,
and then Mr. Chubb was not hired until August,
yes,
something, and Brian McGuire acted as roadmaster in
Yes.
the interim,
mm-hmm.
what was he paid?
He was not paid. He didn't go out and do that. He was just there for the guys to call if they needed to or something as the point of contact. And he was just given the title temporary roadmaster. But he
But
didn't get paid.
He was laying out the work.
Not
making
making sure stuff was done,
Exactly. So he was the administrator for the highway department
yes,
without pay.
yes.
And now we're looking at paying $17 an hour plus benefits for basically the same position in a different department.
That's what they voted on.
The other thing that they brought up at the supervisors meeting was that there is a freeze on employment, overtime, and no luxury or elective expenses.
Or hiring.
Right, employment.
Mm-hmm.
So with that in mind, how can we justify spending $17 an hour plus benefits for someone to oversee the police department when we've had another supervisor, a fellow supervisor, basically in the same capacity but with a different department with no compensation? And how do we handle that if that supervisor, if we approve this, and that supervisor comes back and says, you know what, I spent from the end of May till August doing the same thing and I didn't get a penny and I'm putting a bill in?
Have we heard from that supervisor?
He's never said anything to me about wanting to be paid. I don't know what he's told the others.
This position, does it take more, I'm going to say that if this position isn't filled, there's going to be a hole.
Yes, it'll be a hole.
No one in the police force is currently capable of handling all the paperwork. Is that what I'm...
I do not know that. I don't know their skills or I've never seen their applications or anything like that. That would be the supervisor's decision to do that, to have someone come up and fill it, if that was the case. They will have to put someone as an officer in charge to take care of any of the, I hate to use the term cop work, but that stuff. To be a contact between county and them that Joe cannot do because he's not doing the police work itself.
So there's a hold on hiring, but they're going to go out for they're going to put out for a new chief, right?
They will have to put out for a new chief.
I was not...
And that,
Or hire internally, one of the two.
right, and I'm assuming that that would not take place until 2017 because of the budget. That's just an assumption on my part.
I don't know, they haven't told me one way or the other yet.
But that was exactly what was said directly from the chairman, that there would be an employment freeze and no overtime and no luxury or elective spending.
All right, but we're currently, we're currently without a chief and someone to handle this position. And we're not paying the chief, so that money is not coming out of the budget. And I can assume he was making more, the chief before he was laid off was making more than $17 an hour.
He's making $26 an hour.
And with benefits, this is going to be how much?
Let me think here.
And was there benefits for the police chief or not?
The chief declined benefits. He had benefits from when he retired from Harrisburg. 17.
$8, am I correct? Plus?
Yeah.
So it's just about $26.
Yeah.
Just about identical.
Now, the other interesting thing to note with this, the other action that took place Wednesday night, a week ago, the supervisors voted to cash in a CD, $50,000 worth.
Yes.
To cover expenses for the rest of this year. Or in the interim anyhow, which that's going to be addressed at another time, but.
Wish I'd have made that meeting.
That's why it's important for people to go.
Is there any further discussion on this?
Question?
I have a question. I did hear at the meeting with benefits.
If
Helen
needed.
mentioned if necessary.
Yeah,
So
if
what
needed.
does if necessary mean?
If Joe was going to try to, he's taking a leave of absence from his job now. If his boss there will allow his wife to still be under the insurance policy there, he won't need benefits from us. If they won't, then his wife needs benefits. I don't know the final answer to that yet.
Benefits are for full-time individuals. I heard that come out of Mr. Peters' mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Back in August.
Yeah.
I don't know, somewhere around there.
That's what it says in our personnel manual.
Yeah, full-time employees,
Mm-hmm.
but not part-time. This is considered a full-time position.
Yes, that's how they're considering it, that Joe would be here 40 hours a week.
Whoa, first
30.
I heard 30.
I'm sorry, 30 hours, yeah.
Which under Obamacare, 30 hours.
Oh, it's not full-time.
30 is under the Obamacare.
Yeah. 36 is federal. If it's 36 and under, it's part-time.
New
Under
rule in 30 because that's why everybody wants to keep their employees under 30 hours.
So then he doesn't qualify for benefits through the township, that kind of hours.
According to the personnel manual, if you're considered full-time, you get benefits. I thought it was 36, and the under that was. When did that change, Stanley?
Well, and it could be how many employees you have also. It changed here.
Yeah, because we're under 50 employees, so some of that stuff,
It's under 50, and then as it progresses, it's going to be 10. And they keep changing the rules.
yeah.
But when they said 30, that just struck me, because I know my
Mhm.
employees, once I have to track everybody now, and everybody over 30, after a certain amount of time, then goes into benefits.
Mhm.
If they so can afford them.
Can I ask one more question?
Yes, sure, go ahead, Dave.
How much did you say that our chief was making?
26 an hour.
$26 an hour.
Mhm.
Which would basically be the same if he decides to take the benefits. It's gonna be the same amount.
So we're looking at this through the end of the year.
I would assume at least yes, because if they tell me to advertise for a police chief, even if they did it Wednesday, they get the applications in by the end of the month. Hire end of December, yeah. It'll be January.
Okay, I'm not used to doing this, but how about a motion that's worded to say something like, I'll make a motion to pay Mr. Landis $17 an hour for part-time work not to exceed 30 hours until January 30th, with no benefits. Discussion on that?
So you're looking at like 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that's
full
about right.
position. Is it? I think
No,
it's-
yeah, so let's see, it would be 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10 to 12 weeks, yeah.
What happens at the end of January if there's no
I don't
one
know.
hired?
I was hoping someone would.
Well, you guys have a reorganizational meeting in January, the subject would have to be brought back up.
Or if they decide just to keep that position?
Well, it would have to come back to us. to
Mhm.
decide to keep
As
it
a secretary,
with that.
yeah, as a supervisor.
How will this work with the budget? Because is there a line item for police administrator?
No, there's not, but there's also no line item for corporal either, but, so what, I made a new line item stating that name, just so we have it done. And I can make another line item for administrator. The money for corporal came out of Cliff's budget line, and that's where this will come out of.
But there is none, you say.
There is not a line item specifically designated for administrative at this point, no.
And where would this money be coming to pay, if this was decided upon, where would this come out of?
It would come out of basically what was Cliff's position, line item, the captain. Because Pickles had his, Cliff had his, then we had part-time, we had a full-time line item when they were just full-time. But we also have a part-time police line item.
Cliff is not with us anymore?
No, Cliff left back in March, April, something like that. I have to look for sure for the exact date. It should be 410.
Okay, there's not enough money left in the budget under captain to,
No, that's two portions of captain, remember. You got the township side and the borough side. They wanted me to split it up, so it's, when you look at it, it's half township, half borough.
Is it borough staying?
As of right this second, yeah. I won't have a final answer on that until after their meeting.
They had their budget meeting last month.
Yeah, at the October, in our meeting, we sent them back that, and they haven't, I didn't expect.
They haven't paid us yet, Amber gave us-
No, they have not.
Okay.
No, they have not. So, until they have their meeting to,
So you're not comfortable with the time, the length of time?
I'm just not
Vote on
comfortable
it.
with the whole thing. I'm not comfortable because there was a freeze put on for one thing. I'm not comfortable because they cashed in a $50,000 CD to meet expenses. So I cannot feel good about spending more money that we don't have, supposedly don't have.
So if we don't act on this, they're gonna have to move somebody from the police department into this position.
I'm not sure what they'll do.
All right, so do I hear a second on my motion?
$17 not to exceed January 30th without benefits. 30 hours?
30 hours.
30 hours.
No second? Motion dies.
Question, with Pickles leaving, did they pay him off to leave? Is that why we're out of money? Does anybody know that answer?
Can't seem to get an answer. All the financial information and can't seem to get an answer of why we need to take $50,000 out of the CD.
That went through my head.
Where did the $50,000 go?
Right now, it's sitting in the bank to cover us. Our revenue's have been down. We're down about, from our EIT and LST this year, we're down about 80,000. We do have some bills coming in. We had the 25,000 for the fire company. We had, they wanted to pay another 15 before they decided last meeting to divide that in half.
But that's not an unexpected expense.
No,
That's
it's not. But
budgeted from the beginning,
yes,
from last year.
That was sort of my question is, there's always, from other budget meetings I've been at, there's always funny money there that it's always there, we never use it, so it looks good in next year, so on and so forth, but all of a sudden we have no money. And I understand you have a shortfall on your EIT or whatever,
well, that's part of it.
and I just wondered if they paid Pickles off and that's why we're out of money.
And let's not forget the HR attorney that has been paid for
Yeah.
humongously. And we're already starting out next year $10,000 in the hole for the police audit, which I still can't understand that. The work is done this year and it's not being paid for until next fiscal year.
That was done between Mark
I
and
think that's part
that
of
was-
the problem.
that was all set up. I found out that it was going to be paid the next year at the same time everyone else.
That didn't need to be voted on in the meeting, or I did miss a meeting.
Yeah. It was brought up,
It was about 3 months ago.
yeah, something like
I
that.
didn't bring that book with me.
I missed that meeting, so, okay.
Shame on you.
Oh, I know.
Can I ask another question?
Go ahead.
Is there a job description for this position?
For police chief?
No.
Oh, for the administrative?
Yeah.
No, one has not been drawn up.
Okay, just to kind of back up my point, this might just be boredom, but July, at the end of July, we were over $105,000 to the good for the year. August, it was roughly $68,000 to the good. We've not been in the hole all year. I mean, when you look at where we started in the beginning of the year, we actually started at the end of December. We started January 1st of 2016, all but $34,000 to the negative. There was no talk of pulling any money then. Granted, we get tax money in the beginning of the year, I understand that. But if there was a time that we were going to pull money, that should have been it to cover expenses. I have real heartburn with this because we've been operating in the black and now we're pulling money out of savings. That's the first CD to go. I'm sure there will be more to follow, and that's what scares me. That's treasures and then invoicing expenses. Do you have a question, Steve?
Yeah, it was brought up at the meeting, it's about the shortfall for this year is roughly 80,000, whatever. Was there an increase of money last year that, hey, we kind of got maybe overpaid, that would have, I don't want to say red flags, but like, did we receive more money last year and it's being reaccounted? Because the way I kind of took it from that, the supervisor's meeting was, we were overpaid, so then when it comes for the recalculation, we get less this year.
Yes.
So what I'm asking is,
Yes, the EIT and
last
LST,
year,
yes,
then,
there was.
was there like this huge increase that was received or not?
There was more money that they took back from us at the beginning of this year, that they said they overpaid us.
But I mean, does that, and I don't know how the chart flows for what comes in,
Right.
but if they're saying that if it was the roughly 80,000, whatever, I mean, was there that much of a difference, like, hey, this doesn't seem right, we didn't get that many people moving in, or has it maintained the same?
I don't think it's that big of a difference.
No, not altogether, it's just everything all over, we're lower this year. The EIT, what Cap Tax told me is that because of how they pay the taxes to the different entities, they overpaid us because some of the employers were paying us for people that didn't live in our area. When that finally caught up, January, February, March, they had to take it back from us.
How much was it?
I can't tell you off the top of my head, but I can get it for you, Lee. I know in January, we only got 7,000 in EIT. We normally get 20 to 24,000, just for 1 month to give you an idea.
That was the beginning of the year.
That's at the beginning of the year. As far as the real estate tax coming in, that's been normal. It's normal. The ones who pay, pay. The ones who don't get into the delinquents. But it's the EIT and LST hurt us.
That and combined with the increase in expenses.
Yes, yes. Because we didn't have a roadmaster full-time last year.
They don't know.
Right, so our expenses should have been that we didn't have a corporal, we didn't have a roadmaster.
Right, but we did have a captain and the corporal was earning less.
And the roadmaster was in the budget this year.
I had put in for a part-time roadmaster, because that's what they were talking about when we were doing budget last year. So half of his wage was budgeted, the other half was not. I'm cold. It's me.
We need someone else to fill a position on this board.
Hint, 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 hint.
Anybody else wants to take part on it?
Oh, now there's 2 to you, Lee, so I think that's a vote.
It's coming up soon. All right, so, is there any other discussion on this?
CC, you said you have been asking sort of about the pickle situation, if he was paid off and you don't get an answer.
Right, all I'm told is it's a personnel matter, and that was not necessarily just through this office. I took my phone calls further, and once again was stonewalled that it's a personnel matter.
Right.
So.
I figured that was gonna be the answer.
Oh, I did too.
Okay, so
But it's an
then,
expenditure, it's a possible expenditure of taxpayer funds.
Right.
so that was my next question is, as auditors,
I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
At some point, we should be
Yeah, I
privy
mean-
to that information.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because it is taxpayers' money, or is that still gonna be called a personnel issue?
I don't know if
That
they can do
remains
that.
to be seen.
Can that be
I
done?
see the smirk on your face there, so.
Sorry.
We'll make you a poker player.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
If I'm not mistaken, the news meeting, you already said it was a settlement between the attorneys.
I did not know that.
I believe it's in the last Duncannon record.
I'm going to abstain from any comment there.
Yes.
I believe it was said at the supervisors meeting that agreement had been reached.
But I think
Come
the
to
record said
Wednesday
that-
night. I'll say this much, come to Wednesday night. I cannot say anything else. I can't say anything else,
I
so.
understand that.
So all the information will be provided.
Information will be provided. It's already planned to be on the agenda.
And that is 6 o'clock, not 7 o'clock.
No, it's 7 o'clock, not 6.
They changed it?
They changed it because they have an executive session with critics at 4. We did not, when they said 6 o'clock, they did not know about that. That came in after.
The legal notice said 7.
Yeah, the legal notice said
I
7.
questioned it too, because the record said 6, Peter said 6, and then the record.
And then the advertisement says 7th because I was called and said to put it at 7.
Let's change that.
Thankfully, right before I sent it.
All right, so you're going to tell Mr. Landis not to leave his job? And is there any further discussion on this?
Nope.
Well, now, I have another question.
Go ahead.
Will this come up again then? I know, I guess.
I'm
the deal is-
assuming if this goes back to supervisors, the next meeting, then they're going to kick it back to us possibly if they don't figure out another solution to the problem.
You'll be advertising in a couple more weeks. You'll have another meeting.
Hope we don't need a bigger room.
I hope we do. People need to be involved. It's their money.
Well,
It's their money.
I'm hoping it gets solved at the next
I hope
supervisor.
they have cookies.
I'll make sure you have cookies, Lee. I got candy over there and pretzels.
Lee, you don't need any more cookies.
Don't put that on the record.
It's going to be in the minutes.
All right, motion for adjournment?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Sorry,
Aye.
we didn't.
Don't be late Wednesday night, Dave.
What's Wednesday night?
Budget.
7:29.
Budget.
That's the longest audit.
I already